Marvel is currently undergoing a huge creative overhaul given how they have recently been perceived by fans. The first step of this was seen with the firing of head writers of Daredevil Born Again and also directors of the show, as they are looking to take a new creative direction with the show. Marvel have recently been receiving a lot of criticism from fans as like a lot of the new releases such as Ant-Man, Quantumania, She-Hulk, and Secret Invasion have been receiving a lot of low reviews and criticism from fans, and these are coming from people who have been watching a lot of Marvel movies since Iron Man, which was the first big Marvel movie. And me being a Marvel fan myself, I am quite disappointed with these releases. I mean, I have watched Ant-Man Quantumania, I watched it in cinemas, and I must say it was quite weird. I mean, I saw the direction they were going. I feel like if it wasn't for the introduction of Kang into that film, the film wouldn't have done as good as it did, especially since Ant-Man isn't that big of a pull himself alone. So I feel like it was a bit of a wrong decision on the director's side and especially Marvel's side on making it a standalone film for Ant-Man again, making it his third entry because I feel like this whole idea of having one film have three different sequels is basically killing the film industry and it's making directors and writers lazy as they now know that whether or not the film is good or whether it's bad, they know the fans are going to watch it nonetheless. They know the fans are going to tune in. They know fans are going to watch because they want to see what's going on. They want to see the new big bad. They want to see where the story is going. And then you look at series such as She-Hulk and Secret Agency, and you think to yourself, where did they go wrong? And who greenlit this and who permitted this to actually be released? Because I have to be very honest, I haven't really watched She-Hulk and Secret Invasion, and reading the reviews and the comments on these shows, I'm actually glad that I missed that and that I haven't watched that because I mean like for a whole fan to find so many inconsistencies and so many problems with the show, that just shows that you didn't really take it seriously and you didn't really think of your fans and you didn't think of the implications that would come with releasing these series. I mean, with She-Hulk, the main concern and the main problem that people had was the CGI. They felt like the CGI was way too overused. I mean, you saw, especially with how they have basically butchered the Hulk character. We all know the Hulk as being one of the baddest Avengers, one of the most greatest Avengers. I mean, I can pull out a fucking comic. Planet Hulk, bro. World Breakers. This is such an amazing comic. I don't know why Marvel don't go back to the basics and make the Hulk the big bad that he was in these comics and like he was in the beginning of in the Marvel movies and the Marvel shows and everything like that. And even the animated series. I mean, if we are able to put the original Hulk movies, I'm talking about the Incredible Hulk and the Hulk above the new like series and cameos and parts where you see the Hulk. I'm not criticizing the first Avengers. Hulk was amazing. That's where people were like, that's the Hulk that we know, and people loved that version of him. But they sort of started like making him, less of an important character in Avengers: Age of Ultron and obviously Thor: Ragnarok, as we saw them turn the Hulk into basically a joke, and people were not happy about that. And I'm also not happy about that. But with Secret Invasion, there are a lot of inconsistencies, like with the fact that a lot of the characters were now revealed to be Skrulls, as we know that the Skrulls have taken over, as they are now upset with Nick Fury, as they feel like he has been using them since the beginning, since they first came to Earth. As in the beginning, they had a very good relationship, they became friends, and there was a peaceful agreement and a peaceful friendship between the humans and the Skrulls. As the Skrulls would help the Shield basically get the information that they needed by impersonating certain people and basically going undercover for Nick. But yeah, like the one inconsistency is the fact that Rhodey has been a Skrull since Captain America, Civil War. And a lot of fans were like, what? That makes no sense. And to me, that makes no sense too, because why go back and change that? Like, there was nothing, if you go back and watch that film, there's nothing, when I say nothing, there's absolutely nothing that will indicate any signs that Rhodey was a Skrull. So I feel like the writers that are currently there have run out of things to basically put into the film and are now making things up as they go along and as more movies release. I, in my opinion, think that maybe Marvel needs to take a break from making live action films and should maybe go back to focusing on animated films and series. And while they are focusing on that, hire new writers and directors to basically bring life back to their live action films. Because right now they're just making a quick buck off of these big films. Because even though they spend a lot of money making it, we've seen some of the budgets 200 million, 300 million, they still make it back and even double that because of the box office. Because fans want to go and watch a Marvel movie. Because let's be real, if you're not watching a Marvel movie, what movie are you watching? You know, I mean, cool, you can say you're watching like Oppenheimer or Barbie, but in reality, not many people are watching that. And, a lot of people are fans. They're just doing that because of social media and because they've seen their friends going to watch it and also want to feel a part of that trend. But when you're a fan of something this big, you feel like you should actually go and watch it, you know? And fans feel like they're no longer focusing on what really matters and are ruining the legacy that they've built and the good reputation that they have acquired over the years with successful films like Iron Man, like Captain America, like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And I feel like ever since Endgame, there has been a very slow but deep decline, especially with the ending of lovable characters like Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., and Captain America, played by Chris. Is it Chris Pratt or no? It's not Chris Pratt. But he's also a Chris. I know. Oh, he's a P. No, he's a Chris, man. But yeah, we see that they have like lost a lot of the footing, a huge footing that they had in the comic book film and that comic book industry and that superhero industry. I mean, okay, obviously DC is not gonna catch up. I don't see that happening at all unless James Gunn is able to basically revive DC, and he has slowly been doing that with the likes of Peacemaker and the Blue Beetle and okay, we've seen the failure of the Flash, but still he's making good footing and he's working on amazing projects. And fans of DC and just fans of even Marvel are worried and also hyped because they see that he's basically creating something different. We've seen his amazing work with Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw him leaving with an amazing movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I watched in cinema as well. That was an amazing movie. And people are questioning like, why can't Marvel make movies of that stature, of that level? Why can't they reach that anymore? Because if I'm being real, since Avengers Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has been the best movie that they've come up with. That's it, bro. With series, I would add in Loki, and some fans would say WandaVision, but at the same time, a lot of questions and question marks are around that series as well, and where they were going, where they are going, because we see now she is now Scarlet Witch, and I forgot her other name, but she is basically now turned to a whole different side. She's now in the dark. It feels almost like a Star Wars story with Wanda, you know. You lose someone and then you turn to the dark side, but I can't criticize them on that. Maybe they have a plan for that, but so far they have just been lackluster and disappointing. So hopefully with their next releases, they will think carefully on what to actually release because a lot of fans are hyped for the introduction of Kang, the new big bad, and Doctor Doom with Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars, and there's a whole lot that's going to be coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm hyped for that, but I'm also worried whether it's going to be good or not. So I'm hoping that they're able to get back onto the good path that they were on and not slowly basically kill themselves and slowly commit suicide.